viewers, so today we'll start with the chapter haloalkanes and haloarenes. So these are the halogen derivatives of aliphatic and aromatic hydrocarbons, isn't it? So let us first look at the preparation of haloalkanes. We'll first look at preparation of haloalkanes. Okay, preparation of haloalkanes. First we'll look from alcohols. From alcohols by action of halogen acids. Okay. So from alcohols, like for example, if we take alcohol ROH, right, and halogen acid, any halogen acid, it will convert into any haloalkane and plus it will give water molecule, isn't it? Now the order of reactivity, let us look at the order of reactivity. Okay, order of reactivity. What will be the order of reactivity of halogen acids? Okay, order of reactivity of halogen acids will be what? First HI will be highly reactive, then HI, then HBr, then HCl. Why? Because the bond dissociation enthalpy of HI is very less. Okay, and then comes the bond dissociation enthalpy of HBr and bond dissociation enthalpy of HCl. Means bond dissociation of enthalpy of HCl is very high and bond dissociation enthalpy of HI is very low. So it breaks very easily. HI breaks very easily. So its order of HI will be the most reactive among all the halogen acids. Okay. Now let us look at order of reactivity of ROH, means alcohols. So order of reactivity for alcohols will be, first tertiary will be more reactive, then secondary alcohol will be more reactive, then primary alcohol will be more reactive. Why? Because tertiary alcohol contains more number of releasing groups. As more number of releasing groups will be attached to oxygen, so what will happen? There will be more polarity. As there will be more polarity, so the bond will break easily, right? The bond will break easily and hence the tertiary alcohol is more reactive, then secondary alcohol, then primary alcohol. Okay. So this is our order of reactivity for halogen acids and alcohols. Okay. Understood. Now, when for preparation of chloroalkanes, how to prepare chloroalkanes? For preparation of chloroalkanes, we use HCl. Okay, and chloroalkanes, and in presence of ZnCl2. Okay, in presence of ZnCl2, and it prepares RCl plus H2O. Right. Zinc chloride. Zinc chloride acts as a Lewis acid and it takes the electrons. Okay, so ROH bond breaks very easily. This bond breaks very easily. Why? Because ZnCl2 acts as a Lewis acid reagent. Okay, so it takes up the electrons and the bond breaks easily, and so the reaction happens faster. So this process is also known as Grove's process. Okay, and if we take like example CH3CH2OH plus HCl. Okay, and then CH3Cl, CH3CH2Cl plus H2O. Okay, this will be the product, first product. Okay, now if we take a secondary alcohol like CH3 and CH3 and here OH and here H. This is a secondary alcohol. Okay, add HCl. Again what will happen? CH3 and H and Cl plus H2O. So these are all happening in presence of zinc chloride, the Lewis acid reagent. Okay, but from preparation of tertiary alcohol is very much reactive, so it doesn't require zinc chloride. The reaction happens at normal room temperature. When we take tertiary alcohols, the reaction happens at normal room temperature. Why? Because tertiary alcohol is very reactive. Why it is very reactive? Because there are 3 releasing groups, 3 alkyl groups, so 3 releasing groups, so the polarity of the bond gets higher and it breaks easily. Okay, so when HCl will be reacted, this reaction occurs at room temperature and the reaction will be simple, like OH will get removed and Cl will get attached plus H2O, right? Understood? Next, these are preparation of all chloroalkanes. Okay, preparation of chloroalkanes has already happened, and similarly bromoalkanes. For preparation of bromoalkanes, we can also take ROH plus HBr. What will happen? RBr plus H2O. Okay, and this HBr is prepared. How it is prepared? It is prepared by action of sulfuric acid on potassium bromide. By action of sulfuric acid on potassium bromide, HBr is being prepared. Okay, and while preparation of iodoalkanes, what happens? We react with HI and Ri plus H2O. Okay, right? So these are iodoalkanes. So how is iodoalkanes being prepared? It is prepared by action of phosphoric acid on potassium iodide. By action of phosphoric acid on potassium iodide. Okay. So this is also possible. Now, but remember one thing, there is one exceptional case, that secondary and tertiary bromides and iodides cannot be prepared from secondary and tertiary alcohols. Why cannot be they prepared? Because as we know that in presence of sulfuric acid, the secondary and tertiary alcohols undergo dehydrogenation, means they form alkenes. They will not form haloalkanes. They will form alkenes in presence of sulfuric acid. So formation of tertiary and secondary bromoalkanes and iodoalkanes is not possible from a secondary and tertiary alcohols. Okay, clear? Because of formation of alkenes in the presence of sulfuric acid. Okay, this is now by action of halogen acids we have seen, right? This we have seen. Now let us come to the by action of phosphorus halides. By action of phosphorus halides. Okay, so first let us take ROH, okay, plus potassium trichloride. Okay, so what will happen? Like if we take 3 ROH, then 3 RCl plus H3PO3, phosphoric acid. Okay, and if we take ROH, this is phosphorus trichloride, and if we take alcohol in presence of phosphorus pentachloride, what will happen? RCl plus POCl3 plus HCl. Okay, understood? This is preparation of chloroalkanes. Now bromoalkanes and iodoalkanes can also be prepared as when bromine and iodine is passed on phosphorus. Okay, so by action of phosphorus halides. Okay, now next what does it comes? By action of thionyl chloride. By action of thionyl chloride. Okay, by action of thionyl chloride, what will happen? Now when ROH alcohol reacts with SOCl2, it will give RCl plus SO2 and plus HCl. Okay, RCl plus SO2 plus HCl. Now this is the most preferred method for preparation of chloroalkanes. Why? because SO2 is also a gas and HCl is also a gas. They both are volatile and we can get pure chloroalkanes from here. Let's see preparation of haloalkanes from hydrocarbons. Okay. So hydrocarbons means either from alkanes or alkenes. Okay. So let us first see from alkanes. When alkanes react with halogens, okay, halogens, and in presence of ultraviolet light, we get haloalkanes, right? We get haloalkanes, but the product haloalkanes formed, either they can be monosubstituted, disubstituted or polysubstituted. So this is not a very useful or preferred reaction because we get a multiple kind of products, okay? But this reaction occurs by the method of free radical substitution reaction. But now, if we, for example, if we take propane, okay, CH3, CH2 and CH3, right? And if it reacts with chlorine, now what will happen? You will get a product like CH3, CH2, CH2Cl, okay? Or you can also get product of CH3, CH, Cl, CH3. So you can get one chloropropane as well as two chloropropane. You can get two kind of products. If you want any purified product, you will not get it. So this method is not useful. Okay, but in specific cases, this method is useful. For example, if you want to do chlorination of methane, and then you will get monochloromethane, right? Monochloromethane and minus HCl, right? Then you will get dichloromethane, right? CH2Cl2, and then trichloromethane, CHCl3, and then carbon tetrachloride. Okay, but all these products have different boiling points. So they can be separated out. Okay, another useful reaction is when we want to get neopentyl chloride from neopentane. What is neopentane? CH3, and CH3, and this is CH3 plus Cl2. Okay, now what will be the product? CH3, CH2Cl. There will be no other isomeric product other than this. Okay, so this is another useful thing. Now next, it also depends on the reactivity of hydrogen. Now what is reactivity of hydrogen? First, benzylic hydrogen. Benzylic hydrogen is almost equivalent to allylic hydrogen, and allylic hydrogen is more reactive than alkyl hydrogen. Alkyl hydrogen is more reactive than vinylic, and vinylic is almost equivalent to arylic hydrogen, right? This we all know. Now for allylic, if we want to take example like CH2 double bond CH3, right? In presence of any halogen, right? Okay, so what will be the product? CH2 double bond CH and CH2Cl, right? So why is it more reactive? Because resonance happens. How does resonance happen? See, CH2 double bond CH and CH2. Okay, this is the free radical. Okay, what will happen? This bond will shift here. So in the next, what will be the resonance product? CH2 double free radical here and CH double bond CH2. This is our resonance. Okay, so it is more reactive. Now let us look at the benzylic hydrogen. Okay, let us look for benzylic hydrogen. Okay, so this is our benzylic hydrogen, right? So when it reacts with any chlorine, what will you get? This is CH2Cl, right? Now why it is more reactive? Because of resonance. What kind of resonance undergoes? For example, if this is our CH2, okay, dot, and here, okay, now this will move here, okay, this bond will move here. Next, what will happen? In the next resonating structure, CH2. Okay, this free radical will come here and here. Okay, now this will move here. Okay, the next resonating structure, what will happen? Like double bond CH2, right? And here, and free radical will come here and then here next. Now what happens? Next, this will come here. Okay, next resonating structure will be over here, here, and free radical will come here, double bond CH2. Okay, now this bond will shift here. The next resonating structure will be, okay, what this has moved here, this will be here, this will be here, and CH2 dot. Right. Because of this resonance, benzylic as well as allylic hydrogens are more reactive. Okay. Now, and hence haloalkanes preparation is more easy here. Okay. Now, let us see preparation from alkenes. Okay, from alkenes. Now, if we want to take any alkene, CH2 double bond CH2 plus HX. Okay, so what will we get? This bond will break and we will get CH2 HX. Simple. Okay, this was the product. But if there is any unsymmetrical alkene present, while addition of halogen acid, then we must follow Markovnikov's rule. Now first let us see any unsymmetrical alkene like that, like CH2 double bond CH and CH3. This is a unsymmetrical alkene, and when we add any HX to it, what will happen? According to Markovnikov's rule, the negative part, what is the negative part? Halogen part. Okay, halogen part will attach to the carbon which contains less number of hydrogen. This carbon contains less number of hydrogen. So the bromine or chlorine will attach to this carbon which contains less number of hydrogen. Okay, so, and what will be our product? CH2, sorry, CH, here it will be CH3, CH, Br and CH3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now this will be a product. Okay, but when this same unsymmetrical alkene, reacts with any hydrogen HX, okay, what happens in presence of peroxide like benzoyl peroxide, you know that is O linkage, right? In presence of peroxide, the rule what is followed, anti-Markovnikov's rule is followed. According to anti-Markovnikov's rule or Kharash effect or peroxide effect, what happens? The negative part of HX, what is the negative part? X, this halogen will attach to the carbon which contains more number of hydrogen. Okay, this contains more number of hydrogen, so this halogen will attach here. Okay, so what will be our product? CH2 CH3 and Br. Okay, this will be the major product here will be this 2 bromopropane and here 1 bromopropane. Okay, there is a difference. Okay, in presence of peroxide, anti-Markovnikov's rule will follow, and without it, Markovnikov's rule will. This will be the major product. Okay, now if we want to prepare from alkenes, okay, now in the same case, if we take alkenes in along with any halogen, that is bromine, okay, in presence of carbon tetrachloride, what will happen? We'll get vicinal products, okay, like CH2 and CH2, Br and Br. Okay, vicinal halogen products. Okay, vicinal halogen products, this kind of reaction is also used for test of unsaturation. Okay, if we want to see that if the compound is saturated or unsaturated. Okay, what happens if unsaturation is there present in the compound? The brown color of bromine decolorizes. Okay, because of vicinal halogen compounds being formed. Understood? Now, if we want to prepare allylic chloroalkanes, okay, allylic chloroalkanes, for example, CH2 double bond CH and CH2Cl, okay, CH3 plus chlorine, okay, at 773 Kelvin. At 773 Kelvin, what will happen? The product will be CH2 double bond CH, CH2Cl. This at 773 Kelvin we will get allylic chloroalkanes. Okay, and if we want to produce allylic bromoalkanes, what will happen? If we want to produce allylic bromoalkanes, double bond CH3. Now, in presence of N-bromosuccinamide, like CH2, CH2, CO, CO, NBr, N-bromosuccinamide, NBS. Okay, what will happen? The product will be this will turn into CH2, CH2, CO, CO, NH, and this Br will attach here. Okay, like CH2 double bond CH, CH2Br. Understood? Now, if we want to prepare allylic chloroalkanes, we can also prepare with sulfuryl chloride. What is sulfuryl chloride? SO2Cl2. Sulfuryl chloride. Okay. CH2 double bond CH, CH3 plus SO2Cl2. What will be the product? CH2 double bond CH, CH2Cl. Okay. Plus SO2 plus HCl. These are all gaseous products. Understood? To keep care that preparation of haloalkanes from alkenes is a electrophilic addition reaction or electrophilic addition mechanism, because alkenes are electron rich. Okay, now preparation of haloalkanes, let us see from halogen exchange method. By halogen exchange method, this method is useful for preparation of iodoalkanes. Okay, for example, if you take any alkane, that is bromoalkane or chloroalkane, and if we react with sodium iodide in presence of acetone and reflux it, okay, so what will we get? We will get iodoalkane, that is Ri, okay, plus, and that is any NaCl or NaBr, anything, okay, and this NaCl or NaBr are less soluble in acetone, so they get precipitated out, and hence according to Le-Chatelier's principle, this reaction runs in forward direction. Okay, now then again we can also see preparation of fluoroalkanes from in presence of silver fluoride. Okay, fluoroalkanes in presence of silver fluoride. So what will happen? Then fluoroalkane will be formed, and plus like if it is bromine here, okay, for example it is bromine, okay, then what will form? Plus AgBr. Okay, now we can take silver fluoride or mercurous fluoride, Hg2F2. Okay, this reaction's name is Finkelstein reaction. Finkelstein reaction. Okay, this name reaction is Finkelstein reaction, and this reaction for formation of fluoroalkanes is Schwarz reaction. Okay, now next we can also prepare haloalkanes by from acids of silver salts of acids. Okay, from silver salt of acid. Like if we take CH3COO, this is silver salt of acid, okay, plus bromine in presence of carbon tetrachloride. This name reaction is called Huns-Dicker reaction. Okay, and Huns-Dicker reaction, what will happen? CH3Br plus CO2 plus AgBr. Okay. So this method can also be used for preparation of chloroalkanes also. Okay, for bromoalkanes as well as chloroalkanes. But iodoalkanes cannot be formed. Why? From silver salt of acids, iodoalkanes cannot be formed. Why? Because of formation of esters. Esters are being formed. Okay, so CeCl4. Now this will be CH3, COOCH3 and plus CO2 plus AgI. So this is a different name reaction, that is called Breinbaum-Simonini reaction. Simonini reaction. Okay. So we have studied here 3 different name reactions: Finkelstein reaction, Schwarz reaction, Hunsdiker reaction and Breinbaum-Simonini reaction. Now let's move to the preparation of haloarenes. Understood? The preparation of haloarenes. Preparation of haloarenes. Okay. Preparation of haloarenes. So, preparation of haloarenes. Haloarenes can be directly prepared. For example, if you take any aromatic ring plus chlorine in presence of any Lewis acid catalyst like FeCl3 or AlCl3. Okay. These are all Lewis acid catalyst. So, what will happen? We will get haloarene. Okay, this Cl plus HCl. And this kind of mechanism is electrophilic substitution mechanism. Electrophilic substitution mechanism. Okay. Now, let us look at the mechanism first. Okay, first there is generation of electrophile. First, what is the generation of electrophile? Is the first step. So Cl2 plus FeCl3 gives FeCl4 minus plus Cl plus. This is generation of electrophile. This is electrophile being generated. Now what happens? We take the aromatic ring, like for example like this, and plus Cl plus. What will happen? This pi bond will attack here. Okay. Now next what will happen? There will be many resonating structures, like this is H, this is Cl, right? This bond has shifted here, so there will be a positive charge here, okay? And one pi bond here and one pi bond here, okay? Now this will move here, this pi bond will move here. Next resonating structure, what will happen? HCl, HCl. This has moved here, positive charge will come here, and this remains the same. Now again this will move here. Okay. Next resonating structure. What will happen? HCl. Right. So this will move here, and this is here only. So positive charge will be here. So that this, see, the positive charge is revolving over the whole aromatic ring. So we can also write it as HCl. And this positive charge is revolving over the whole aromatic ring. Okay, now what will happen? There will be removal of proton by FeCl4 minus. FeCl4 minus will remove this proton from here. So plus FeCl4 minus will take out the proton, and there will be formation of chlorobenzene plus FeCl3 plus HCl. Okay. In the same way, you can also form bromohaloarenes, okay, bromoarenes, but in the formation of iodoarenes, we always use oxidizing agents, okay, because oxidizing agents we use because HI formed is a very good reducing agent, so the reaction runs in the backward direction. But in the presence of oxidizing agents, what happens? This oxidizing agent like HiO3. If we take HiO3 as oxidizing agent, then we get H2O plus I2. Okay. So this Hi gets removed out. Understood? Means, for example, if we take this aromatic ring plus iodine, okay, then we get I Okay, but this is a good reducing agent, so the reaction may move to the backward direction. So that it doesn't move to the backward direction, we prepare iodoarenes in the presence of oxidizing agents. So in the presence of oxidizing agents, it turns into water and iodine, and hence the reaction runs in forward direction. Understood? Now let's move to the next preparation. It is preparation of haloarenes by Sandmeyer reaction. Sandmeyer reaction. Okay. So what is Sandmeyer reaction? When we take sodium nitrite, okay, sodium nitrite in presence of HCl, then NaCl plus nitrous acid is being formed, HONO. Okay. Now, when aniline, that is aniline, reacts with nitrous acid plus HCl, it gives diazonium chloride. Okay, that is, it gives diazonium chloride, N2 plus Cl minus. Okay, so N2 plus Cl minus is the diazonium chloride being formed. Now, when this diazonium chloride, N2 plus Cl minus, reacts in the presence of cuprous any halide, okay, like cuprous chloride or cuprous bromide, what happens? Then we get chloroarene. This is chloro plus nitrogen gas. Okay. So by Sandmeyer reaction, we can form chloroarene as well as bromoarene. Okay. And now there is another reaction, that is Gettermann reaction, related to this only. Gettermann reaction. Okay, Gettermann reaction. In the Gettermann reaction, what happens? Only we again take diazonium chloride. Okay, and by taking diazonium chloride, we take copper powder, and in presence of HCl, and we again get chloroarene plus nitrogen. Okay. Now, if excess of chlorine is present, what will happen? And chlorobenzene is present. Excess of chlorine we are giving, okay, and already chlorobenzene is present. So chlorine is ortho-para-directing group, and excess of chlorine is being given, okay, here in this reaction. Then chlorine is also ortho-para-directing. So again, ortho and para products will be formed, okay, like Cl. This is at ortho position and also at para position. Okay. Same thing will happen also in the case of toluene. For example, if CH3 is present here, this is also ortho-para-directing group. Okay. So, you can get products like this. Plus CH3Cl. At ortho and para, Cl will get attacked. Understood? Now, we have understood Sandmeyer reaction, Gettermann reaction, and next we will be, in the upcoming video, we will be understanding the chemical properties as well as physical properties of haloalkanes and haloarenes. So, if you like this video, kindly like and subscribe my channel, that is Fun with Chemistry, and stay with me. Thank you.